Hello, hello. Welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And today I want to talk about probably one of the biggest things that pretty much every single parent will deal with when they first go through their breakup. And that's loneliness. How do you get through that? How do you get through that period of not feeling so shit in yourself and dealing with that loneliness? So I'm going to talk about that today. Now, for those of you lovely people that do come back week after week, there's something that you haven't heard. If there's an area on single parenting that I haven't unpacked as yet and that you would like me to do that, then let me know. Let me know. I'm here to cover any topic that you would go through or experience as a single parent. So if there's something that you want to hear spoken about on the podcast, I'm here for it. Throw it my way and I'm happy to talk about it on the podcast. Even if you have a question, you want to ask me something and you want me to answer it on the show, I won't answer your name, or sorry, I won't say your name because I know privacy can be a big thing. I'm respectful of that. And if you want me to answer that on the show so other people know what it's like, because one thing you forget as a single parent is quite often when you're going through this, you feel very alone, hence the topic of this podcast, right? But what you don't realize is that what you're going through, pretty much every other single parent goes through something similar or the exact same. Now, that's not me dismissing what you're going through because I'm definitely not. You all go through your shit and your struggles. It's not easy. But what a lot of people don't realize when you're in it is how common these things are that you go through. And so many other single parents will be experiencing the exact same things. So if you do have a question or if there's something particular you would like me to talk about, then throw it my way, like I just said, and I'm here to talk about it on the show. But on that note, I'm going to talk about loneliness and how to deal with loneliness as a single parent.
Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So let's dive in.
Okay, so let's talk about feeling that sense of loneliness. How do you adjust to it? How do you adjust to being in this family dynamic that was possibly go, 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 go? You always had your partner around. You may have always had your kids around. And the next minute, you're broken up. Kids are gone to the other parent's house. Your friends are just like vanished, or they're all busy. Or maybe you just don't feel like leaving the house because you're not in the right headspace. So you're just at home. It's a Saturday night, don't have the kids, and you're just sitting there. And the loneliness creeps in. How do you handle this? Now, to start off with, and by saying this, I'm not downplaying the way you feel, because I totally understand that feeling that sense of loneliness is a huge thing. It's huge, and I understand that. I respect that. But what I want you all to keep in mind is that a lot of it comes down to your frame of mind and your outlook on this situation. And when you've just come out of your breakup and you've got all these emotions going around in your head, everything. You might be overanalyzing things. You might have just dealt with your ex at handover and it didn't go so well. So you're just sitting there pissed off about what happened and you got all these emotions going through your head. And you're like, I just don't feel good. I just feel lonely. I feel shit. It's just me. I'm on my own. And you're seeing your kids go off with your ex and they're possibly having a fantastic weekend. Maybe they're not. You don't know that. But you're getting all this in your head, thinking all these things about what's happening with the kids and everyone else having a great time. And then you jump on social media and then you start doom scrolling and you're seeing all these people on holidays or they're out to dinner with their partner or they're having fun and they're doing stuff and you're like, great, look at me just sitting here alone on a Saturday night watching Netflix with my bottle of wine or whatever else that you drink. And you're just like, I feel lonely as shit right now. And you just scrolling, and you're just making yourself feel worse because you're convinced that everyone else is living a better life than you. You're convinced that it's just you sitting at home being miserable. And then you know what usually happens after this stage? You jump to the dating apps because you feel lonely, right? So let's see if we can find some company. Let's see if we can find something for maybe next weekend or the next weekend when the kids are at the other parent's house. Let's jump on the app so I can set up something then so I won't feel lonely. And then you end up meeting all these people that are just not what you're looking for. You get all these ridiculous messages or all these half-assed messages where they're not even trying. It's like they don't give a shit. They're probably just sitting at home on a Saturday night bored shitless as well. Because you'll find on the dating apps, if you haven't noticed this already, Saturday nights are probably the most busiest nights because they're the nights that people are sitting home bored shitless and they're like, I'm lonely, I need a partner, scroll, swipe. And it's like they're just trying to pick anything. And then it's just meaningless conversation that gets you nowhere. You end up feeling even more shit. It's like, great, I'm still lonely. That's achieved nothing. It's this cycle that gets you nowhere because a new person is not going to fix this. They may take you out and help you have a bit of fun. But there's a reason why you're feeling lonely. And it's not necessarily because you have no people around you. Because realistically, you probably have friends that you can socialize with. You probably have family that you could go out and visit. And it's like I just said a second ago. It's your outlook on the situation that is why you feel lonely. It's not necessarily your situation. And what I mean by that is that when you're sitting at home on your own, it's bringing up all these thoughts, which is why you end up doom scrolling and seeing all these people having fun. And then when you're doing this, again, it's all these thoughts that are coming up. Everyone else is having a better life than me. Everyone else is having more fun than me. Everyone else is in a happy relationship except me. Everyone else this, everyone else that. I must be a failure. I mustn't be good enough. See, it's all me. I did wrong. Something wrong with me. No one's going to want me. No one's going to like me. You get all these things in your head when you're on your own. So to get rid of all these thoughts, you find the next best thing that's going to remove that. Dating. Dating will get rid of all that. Dating will fix everything, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just adds salt to the wound, especially when you meet people that are not what you're after, or you're out there meeting other wounded souls that haven't done the work to heal themselves, that haven't done any self-reflection. They're just there in the dating world hoping a new partner will make them feel better. They're looking for a guinea pig, and you don't want to be looking for a guinea pig. And that's what you're doing when you're scrolling on a Saturday night, bored shitless when the kids are at the other parents, swipe, looking for a guinea pig. And I know when you're in that moment, you're not thinking that, you're not realizing that, but that's really what's happening. You're looking for someone to make you feel better in the moment. I don't want to feel like this anymore, so let's find a partner. They will fix it. And as with anything I say when it comes to my coaching, it's nobody else that's going to fix you. It's yourself. The way you feel in yourself, the only way that can be changed is by you. You fix your problems. And touching on coaching a little bit, what I do here, this is what we do here. I help you recognize that. I help you by asking you those questions, by helping you recognize what's happening here so you can get out of this pattern. Because when I was saying your loneliness is dependent on your outlook on your situation, what I mean by that is when you're not happy with where you're at, when you're just looking at it thinking, I'm failed, I'm not good enough, no one's going to want me, no one's going to like me, I'm never going to find someone again, it's that outlook that's making you feel lonely in the situation. And the reason why you're feeling lonely, because it's these thoughts that are in your head that are coming up when you are on your own. That is why you're feeling lonely, because you hate all of these things that are coming up, all of these thoughts that are coming up when you are on your own. But realistically, that is the best thing you can do when you're on your own. Process what's coming up, reflect on what's coming up, understand what's coming up, not just avoid it or run away from it by doom scrolling on social media and then jumping to the dating app, swipe, thinking that'll fix it. No, this is what you need to acknowledge in the moment. It's not about sweeping things under the carpet or putting a Band-Aid on things. And that, again, is something that I cannot emphasize enough. Sweeping things under the carpet with any part of your life is not going to fix anything. It's just going to push it down for later. So when you're feeling lonely, it's not so much the fact that you are on your own. It's the fact that when you are on your own, it's the thoughts that are coming up that you're not feeling comfortable with. Doesn't make you feel good to think these thoughts. It doesn't make you feel good to think that you're failed or you're not good enough or you're never going to find a partner or no one's going to ever want you, or knowing that the kids are having fun at the other parents, or maybe there's a new partner there and that's making you feel replaced and not good enough. All of these thoughts are coming up. But a new partner doesn't fix that, because what's going to happen then? You start dating and then all of a sudden, maybe 4 or 5 months down the track, that doesn't work. Not that I'm wishing anything bad on anyone, but just say hypothetically that happened. And then what? You're going to go through the same process again. Saturday night's going to come around, doom scrolling, swiping on the apps, feeling lonely again. And you see it. You see it so often with so many people struggle with loneliness. It's not the fact you're on your own. It's the fact that you're refusing to deal with those emotions that are coming up when you're on your own. You're feeling so uncomfortable when you're on your own because of all these thoughts that are coming up. You don't want to handle it. You don't want to deal with it. So you push it aside and you avoid being on your own, because when you are, all this stuff's coming up, and instead of acknowledging that, you're just like, I feel lonely. I feel shit. But realistically, it's not the loneliness that you're struggling with. It's the way you feel in yourself when you are on your own. That is what needs to be acknowledged, my friends. And this is the thing with so many people going through a breakup, or gone through your breakup, I should say, and so many single parents do this. It's that whole put a Band-Aid on it, she'll be right, just keep going. However, when you're not acknowledging the core wound here, when you're not acknowledging what's happening under the surface, that's what you're doing. You're slapping a Band-Aid on it, hoping it will just fix itself. Time will fix it. It'll be fine. She'll be right. It's all good. But that does not fix anything. It just pushes it down. And this is why I don't know how to say this without sounding rude, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit rude or offensive to some people. But this is why I struggle to understand why so many people refuse to actually work through their breakup. And they just think time will fix everything, or they just think their ex will maybe change, or they just think their ex is an arsehole, or whatever, their ex is being impossible to deal with, so they've just got to deal with this shitty dynamic, and they've just got to deal with this crappy single parent life because that's who their ex is. They just throw the white flag in the air and say, this is it, I've just got to deal with it. No, you don't just have to deal with it. You can make your life better. And once again, it comes down to your outlook. Now, I'm not about being that whole toxic positivity. That's not what I'm saying here. But when you just avoid, you're not dealing with anything. You're just literally pushing down a problem till later. And this is why so many people struggle with loneliness for so long, because when they're refusing to deal with those emotions and those thoughts that come up when they are on their own, it's just going to keep coming up. So you can keep distracting. And that's why a lot of people do that. They distract themselves. They keep busy because when they're on their own, all these thoughts come up and it makes them feel shit. And they think that they're lonely, but it's not the loneliness. It's the way they feel when they're on their own and all this stuff keeps coming up in their head. Because the difference is when you've actually taken the time to self-reflect, when you've actually taken the time to work through everything, and when you've taken the time to learn how to manage your triggers, your hurt, your situation with your co-parent, learned how to show up differently in the dating world, and you've actually taken something from your breakup, then you can actually look at your situation from a whole different perspective. You can actually get yourself to a place where you can say, fuck, I love my alone time. Fuck, I love being on my own. And you know what? I'm one of those people. Love it. Love it. My daughter's at an age now because she's a teenager. She thinks her weekends are all about her schedule and her friends. If you know, right? And then teenagers, it's all about their friends now. So she doesn't seem to go to her dad's as much. Not that I'm stopping it, definitely not. If anything, I'm the opposite. I'm encouraging. Every weekend, I'm like, are you going to your dad's? Are you going to your dad's? That's what I'm like now, because you know why? I love my alone time. I keep encouraging. Come on, you call your dad. You should go to your dad's. Not that I'm pushing my daughter away. I love it a bit. But sometimes I need a break because I love my alone time. And that's the difference when you actually can handle those thoughts that come up when you're on your own. You actually learn to self-reflect with anything that comes up. You're actually looking to learn from things that you've been through. Instead of actually looking at like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be on my own. No, I can't do that. But you can actually use it as a time for you to benefit you, to refill your cup. That's when it doesn't become a lonely experience. It becomes a time that you actually look forward to. And that is why so many single parents struggle with loneliness, because there is such a small portion of single parents out there. No disrespect to those that are, because I know there are a lot of you out there that do, and I love that. And that's why you're probably here listening to this, because you do want to work through it. But there are a large portion that do not. And they do struggle with loneliness, and they can struggle for years and years and years and years. And that is because they're not dealing with anything that comes up for them in that time when they're on their own. They're not working through any of those emotions. They're not understanding what's happening. They're not learning from it. Any experience you go through in life, the best thing you can do for yourself is to step back and learn something from that. And most importantly, the next best thing you can do is learn how to handle it differently going forward. That is the best thing you can do. And that is why so many people struggle with loneliness, because they're not doing anything different. And this is another thing I can say over and over again. And again, it's not in a disrespectful way, but if you keep doing things that come up in your life the same way over and over and over again, guess what? You're going to get the same result over and over and over again. If you're convinced yourself that getting out of this lonely period is only done by dating, and then you keep dating and you keep getting the same outcome, then you know what? Dating is not fixing your loneliness. You need to fix your loneliness. You need to fix how you feel first. You need to get yourself in a place where you feel secure in yourself, where you're not dating to feel better. You're not relying on another person to make you feel good. You know you feel good. If someone comes into your life, bonus. If they don't, then you still feel good either way. And that is what happens in the dating world. And why so many people give up hope, because they're dating from the wrong mentality. They're dating just to feel better. They're dating to make someone distract themselves. They're dating because they're sick of being on their own, because they've been lonely. And then it doesn't end well, and they can't understand why, because I can tell you why. You're not approaching it from the right headspace. You're not approaching it from a healthy headspace. You're not feeling secure in yourself. It's like you're panicked, you're clinging, you're just making relationships work, you're settling, you're overlooking red flags. You're just going out for anyone that will just message you with a, hi, oh, this person likes me, let's give them a go. Really? That's surface-based hi message that didn't have any kind of substance to it? Okay. Raise your standards, people. Both sides, men and women. Everyone deserves more than that. And something so basic like that is not how you get out of feeling lonely. So yes, I do understand 1000% when you first go through your breakup and you do go through that feeling of loneliness. You do struggle with that. I understand that because, like I said at the start, you've just gone through this breakup where prior to that you were in this big family dynamic. It might not have even been big. It might have just been one kid. But still, it was other people around. There was always things happening, coming and going. And then the next minute, you're on your own when your kid's at the other parent. And it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different take on your situation. It's like, oh, how do I deal with this? And there's a lot of people that I work with that haven't ever had to deal with this time on their own ever as an adult. They've gone straight from school, met their partner, their wife or their husband, got married, been in a long-term relationship. Next minute, boom, they're divorced. And then next minute, the kids are going to the other parent's house. It's like, shit, what do I do now? It's a whole new world. This whole situation is very foreign and they don't know how to handle it. And that's why for a lot of people, they do struggle with that loneliness because it's like, what do I do now? I don't get it. They're just not used to that. And I understand that. Because how would you? Your whole life, you've gone from living at mum and dad's, you've gone through school, all of a sudden you've met your partner, got married, moved in with them, and then 20, 30 years down the track, maybe a bit less, but give or take, and then now you're on your own. It's like, fuck, what do I do? I don't get it. I've never had to do this before. But my best advice for actually enjoying that time on your own is getting to a place where you do enjoy that time on your own. And how do you do that? By not running away from anything that's coming up in your head when you are on your own. And that's why when so many people are on their own, they sit around and drink or they sit around and do something else because that's another minor distraction. So instead of just going out and doing stuff or shopping or dating or gym or something else, when they are on their own, there's something else, there's some other distraction happening to avoid those thoughts. They don't want to deal with those thoughts that come up in their head that make them feel like they're not good enough, that make them feel like they've failed, that guilt, that shame, or anything else that comes with being a single parent. Now, not that I think that comes with it, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do carry that feeling of guilt and shame and all these other emotions that come with it. So they push it down, 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 push it down. And do you know what's going to happen then? It's going to come out at some point, right? It's got to. But anyway, the idea is to actually be able to get to a place where you can enjoy being on your own, because that's what you want. You don't want to run from being on your own. You want to get to a place where you enjoy it, where you like it, where when you do have your own alone time, you can go out with friends or you can go out and do stuff. But then there's also times when you can sit around and do nothing and it doesn't scare you off. It doesn't make you panic. It doesn't make you think, oh shit, I'm alone. I'm feeling lonely. I'm struggling with loneliness. And realistically, this isn't just with single parents. It's anyone out there. But this is a big thing for single parents because you've just come from that family dynamic to all of a sudden being on your own. It's like, how do you adjust? You adjust by actually working through what is coming up for you when you are on your own. Instead of pushing it down and pretending it's not there. Instead of pushing it aside and distracting yourself. Instead of just jumping on social media or the apps and thinking that's going to make you feel better. You do not get your happiness from an outside source. You do not get your happiness from anyone else. Just like in my coaching, when I always say to my clients, you do not get your answers or your resolution from your ex. Any answers you need, anything in life, it comes from you. It comes from you. And the more you push down your problems, the more you avoid them, the more you pretend like it's there, you're just pushing down those answers. You're pushing down your way of moving forward. That's how you feel better in yourself. That's how you move forward. Stop pushing things down. Stop avoiding. Stop running. And actually sit with it. Sit with what's coming up. Process what's coming up. Understand what's coming up. Learn from what's coming up. That is the best thing you can do after your breakup. Process, learn, understand, do something better. And sadly, it is the one thing so many people avoid doing. And I just wish we could just make this a norm. This is part of the breakup process. It really is. But it is the one part that so many people don't want to deal with, because dealing with those emotions, that big E word, those feelings, is so uncomfortable for so many people. It's like I did a video on YouTube recently. I've made it, for those of you that go over there and follow me over there, I've made it a thing. Every day I go on my beach walk, I do a little motivational video which I pop on to YouTube. So if you're not over there, go over there and check it out. It's just a little short video, just a little thing, pop on. When I'm going my walk, I'll stop somewhere. There's got this little tree there, like a big tree trunk. I usually sit on that. It's a good little spot. Sit there and I do a little video, and that's my YouTube clip for the day. And I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah. So what I was getting at is I posted something recently. There was no gender. As you all know, those of you who follow me, I never specify a specific gender. I never attack anyone. My support advice is as neutral as possible as it can be to support all single parents. And I did something recently just talking about, I don't even think it was about the parents. I think it was more so along the lines of doing something that is what's in best interest for the kids. And no word of a lie, and again, I'm not attacking a specific gender here, but this is just what happened in the comments. Within minutes, I had 3 men comment saying nasty comments towards women. And I get why they're doing that, because they see me, they automatically think that I'm only helping women. But what I'm getting at here is I can see straight away those kind of comments. And I could tell they're not people that have just been recently separated. And I know some of them, the way they mentioned it, this happened years ago. And you can tell these are the people that hold on to that hurt for so long. These are the kinds of people that be sitting around on a Saturday night being sad and lonely and miserable. Why? Because they're refusing to work through anything. They're refusing to deal with anything. It is so obvious to see straight away those people that are just pretending that I'm fine. They're out in public with their friends. Oh yeah, I'm fine. And then the next minute a conversation comes up or something. No, you're not fine, because you wouldn't be reacting like this. And this is what happens when you don't deal with your breakup emotions. And another thing I see so often is that people just convince themselves that they're following certain pages. Like my page, for instance, or they might be watching the reels. They might be watching or listening to the podcasts. They're doing the stuff, or they're listening, they're seeing it, but they're not actually doing anything different. Like I've seen so many people message me and comment on things saying, and I know they've been following me for quite a lengthy time, which I love that. No disrespect to anyone. But then I see them comment or message or DM me, and then all of a sudden they're talking about a specific instance, how they might be struggling with co-parenting, how they're scared to set boundaries, it's like in the kindest way possible. You could have been through this so long ago if we actually did coaching, or if you actually did something different. It's not going to help you just to watch videos. I mean, it does help. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to change anything just by watching these reels and listening to these podcasts. You've actually got to implement the stuff that you're listening to or that you're watching. Otherwise, nothing is going to change. It's just like reading all these healthy menus or reading up on how to eat healthy, but you're not actually changing the food that you eat. It's like researching how to exercise and knowing all the right techniques and knowing what to do when you're in the gym, but you're not actually going to the gym, or you're not doing it. You're just sticking on the exercise bike the whole time. You're not actually doing any weights. So, and then you're wondering why you're not getting toned up, because you're not actually implementing that stuff. You're watching it, but you're not doing it. Same thing when it comes to this. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, but this is something I see a lot, where people are knowing the work, but they're not doing the work. And this is a big part of what is going to get you out of the loneliness, is what is going to get you out of this cycle with your co-parent, is what is going to get you out of this cycle when it comes to dating and everything else that comes with it. Because what we focus on and what you need to really do to change this situation is look at you. Look at these core wounds in yourself that are coming up. And that is what needs to be healed. It's no more just slapping a Band-Aid over it. It's no more pushing it down, pretending you're fine. It's no more just avoiding things or thinking that a new partner is going to make you feel better. It's actually recognizing and acknowledging what is coming up for you, processing it, acknowledging it, understanding it, working through it, learning from it, and doing something different. That's the biggest thing, doing something different. Because you can say you're lonely, you can complain about being on your own, but are you doing anything different to get you out of that loneliness pattern? Or are you just avoiding being on your own? That's the biggest thing. It's one thing to say you don't like being on your own, but what are you doing to fix that? It's one thing to say that you don't like your co-parenting dynamic, but what are you doing different? It's one thing to say that you're fed up with the dating world, but are you showing up any different? Are you doing anything different when it comes to meeting someone new? It all comes hand in hand. And most importantly, it all comes down to one important factor. You. You. And what is coming up for you. How you are feeling when you are on your own. Acknowledge that. Don't just push it down. And that is how you get out of this loneliness pattern. And that is when you have worked through all this, you have understood it all, you have learned from it. Then you get to a place that's like, you know what, kids, looking forward to my weekend on my own this weekend. I mean, hey, you don't have to say it to them. You don't have to rub it in their face. But you are able to get to that place where you can enjoy your alone time. You can maybe even go on holidays on your own. You can go out to dinner or lunch on your own. Some of you may already do that, but a lot of people don't because it's intimidating. They feel like, oh, maybe I'm a failure just being on my own. Maybe people are going to think there's something wrong with me. No. And when you are at that place where you feel better in yourself, you don't really care what people think. They're not paying your bills. Who cares what other people think? And that's what happens. You feel more confident in yourself. Your focus is not on what other people think. Your focus is on you and what you want. And that, once again, is everything that we focus on when it comes to coaching. You and what you want and how you want your life to look and how you want to feel in yourself. That is the goal with everything. About building you up so you can live your best life. And you don't feel lonely anymore. So, my friends, if you are struggling with this, you know the drill. Let's have a chat. Let's finally work through this. Because I can get you out of this pattern. I can get you out of any pattern that you are stuck in with your life when it comes to your single parent life or any part of your life. I'm here to help you through that. Because if nothing changes with what you're doing, you are going to keep repeating the same cycle. As I said, dating, co-parenting, anything, loneliness, these emotions. If these emotions keep coming up and you think, okay, dating will make it feel better. No. You're going to keep staying in this cycle until you actually deal with it. Don't push it down because I guarantee when you actually work to it, you will feel, I can't even explain. I won't even say you feel better because it's not about you will feel better, but you will show up as such a more confident, secure version of yourself. And that is what you want. You don't want to keep going through life as that anxious person or that avoidant person who clings to relationships or runs away from relationships because of your wounds and your hurt from your past and you're pushing everything down. When you actually deal with stuff, when you work through everything, you do feel more confident in yourself. And that's when you do show up more secure in yourself. And that's what you want. That is what you want, my friend. So if you want to not feel lonely anymore and actually like your alone time, love your alone time, if you want to actually not have to walk on eggshells in co-parenting, because it's not about waiting for your ex to change. They're not going to change. And you're not changing for them. You're changing for you. So please, one thing I want to wrap up, and this is not about loneliness, but this is about co-parenting. Stop thinking that your life or your co-parenting or your single life has to be miserable because your ex is making it difficult for you, I should say. You don't have to sit around and keep waiting for them. You can take initiative and do what you can to make your life easier. You're not doing it for your ex, you're doing it for you. And then when you do that, you emotionally detach, you let go of any expectations from them, you let go of any, you're no longer clinging to what you want or need from them. Why? Because your life is focused on you and your kids. I mean, hey, it's not about just waving the white flag and say, do what you want. You have healthy boundaries. And that's the thing. When you become more secure in yourself, you are able to speak up. You are able to set those healthy boundaries. You are able to have a voice where you're not being taken advantage of. And that's all part of working through everything. It builds your confidence and makes you a stronger version of you and makes you show up as a whole new version of you. And you do that too, I promise. No, you don't. But anyway. So if anything there that you want to work through, please reach out. Let's make it happen. Let's get you out of this cycle. My free chat is in the show notes. Come over to Instagram and you can message me there if you want me to send it to you direct. If you don't follow me already, come and check out on Instagram, Life After Plus One, and follow the podcast. Give it a like, give it a review, subscribe, and you'll be notified of all future episodes. And that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And until next week, I'll be in your ears then.
Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplusone.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after Plus One.